The pregnancy test falls from her vacation photos, dated 3 weeks before she left for Bali with her yoga instructor. My hands shake as I pick it up from our bedroom floor. The little pink plus sign stares back at me like an accusation I'm not ready to process. Sarah's suitcase sits open on our bed, still half packed from her return this morning. She's downstairs making lunch, humming that song she always hums when she thinks she's gotten away with something. The Bali hotel receipt is tucked between 2 sundresses, Mr. and Mrs. Kingston, Honeymoon Suite. My throat closes. We've been married for 12 years. My last name isn't Kingston. Found everything okay up there? Sarah calls from the kitchen. Her voice carries that practiced sweetness she uses when she's testing boundaries. I don't answer. Can't answer. The receipt trembles in my grip as I read it again. 7 nights, Honeymoon Suite. The dates match her solo wellness retreat perfectly. The one she said she needed after the stress of my father's funeral. The one where she promised she'd find herself again. She found someone all right. The yoga mat in the corner of her suitcase has initials embroidered on the strap. J.K. Jake Kingston. I know that name. He's the instructor from her Tuesday evening classes. The one she said reminded her of a younger me. The one whose Instagram she hearted every single post. My phone buzzes. Mrs. Chen from next door. Saw Sarah getting out of a car this morning. Wasn't yours. Nice young man driving. Everything okay? The credit card statement is still logged in on her iPad, carelessly left open. I scroll through the charges. Every single dinner in Bali, 2 adult meals. Every breakfast, 2 coffees, 2 entrees. The couple's massage at the resort spa. The snorkeling tour for 2. The romantic sunset cruise. She wasn't alone for a single moment. David, lunch is ready. Her voice carries a hint of impatience now. I pocket the pregnancy test and walk downstairs, each step measured, controlled. She's plating sandwiches, her long blonde hair still showing those fresh highlights she must have gotten in Bali. When she turns to smile at me, I see it, that glow everyone talks about. You look different, I say. It's the tan. The Bali sun was incredible. You really should have come with me. She slides a plate across the counter, though I know how you feel about yoga retreats. How was being alone for a whole week? She doesn't miss a beat. Transformative. Really helped me process Dad's death. I know it was hard on you, having me gone right after the funeral, but I needed that time. My father died 6 weeks ago. The pregnancy test is dated 5 weeks ago, 1 week before she left. Show me the photos, I say. Oh, they're nothing special, just beach sunsets and temple visits. But she's already reaching for her phone, swiping through carefully, too carefully. See? Boring tourist stuff. I take the phone from her hand before she can react. She's deleted most of them. The recently deleted folder is empty too, but she's forgotten about the shared album she created. The one linked to our family account. There he is, Jake Kingston, shirtless on the beach, holding her hand at a temple, kissing her at sunset. The last photo shows her hand, wearing a ring I never bought. David, I can explain. When did it start? My voice stays steady. 12 years of marriage, 2 children asleep at their grandmother's house, and my voice stays steady. It's not what you think. I set the pregnancy test on the counter between us. The pink plus sign faces her like evidence in a courtroom. 5 weeks ago, you were already pregnant when you went to Bali. The color drains from her tan face. For the first time since she walked through our door this morning, something real flickers in her eyes. Fear. I was going to tell you... When? After I'd raised another man's baby? After our kids called it their sibling? The words taste like copper in my mouth. Emma and Lucas deserve better than this. Don't you dare bring our children into this? The mask drops completely now. You've been emotionally absent for years, always working, always too tired, always faithful. The word cuts through her excuses like a blade through tissue paper. Pack whatever you need for tonight. You're leaving. She laughs. Actually laughs. This is my house too. I'm not going anywhere. I pull out my phone and show her the screenshots I've already taken, the credit card charges, the hotel receipt, the photos. Patricia Morrison is my lawyer. She'll be in touch Monday. Until then, you can stay in Emma's room. I'll be in ours. You can't just... I am. I stand, leaving my untouched sandwich on the counter. If you need something from our room, knock first. As I climb the stairs, she calls after me. David, please, think about what you're doing. Think about the children. I stop on the landing. Through the window, I can see Mrs. Chen watering her roses, pretending not to watch our house. I am thinking about them. For the first time in 5 weeks, someone in this house is thinking about them. The bedroom door closes with a soft click. I sink onto the bed, Sarah's suitcase still open beside me. The yoga mat with Jake's initials stares up at me. My phone buzzes with texts from Sarah, each one more desperate than the last. I silence it and open my laptop. The first email I write is to Patricia Morrison. Subject line, urgent divorce consultation needed. The second is to my brother. Subject line, I need you to pick up Emma and Lucas from Mom's tomorrow. The third is to myself, a documentation email. I attach every screenshot, every photo, every piece of evidence. Subject line, day 1, the truth. Through the bedroom door, I hear Sarah on the phone, her voice shrill and panicked. Jake, he knows. He found everything. I pull out the prenuptial agreement from our filing cabinet, the one her father insisted on to protect her trust fund, the one with the ironclad infidelity clause she laughed about signing. As if either of us would ever cheat, she'd said. My phone rings. Jake Kingston. I let it go to voicemail. Sarah's footsteps pace the hallway outside. She's crying now, loud, theatrical sobs designed to pull me out of the room. The same sobs she used when she wanted that overpriced car, when she wanted to skip my father's birthday party, when she wanted to go to Bali alone. Another text from Mrs. Chen. Saw that young man's car parked down the street. He's just sitting there. Should I call someone? I text back, no need, but could you take a photo of the license plate for my records? The photo comes through immediately. Red Tesla Model 3. Vanity plate, Namaste 1. I almost laugh. Almost. Sarah knocks on the door. David, the kids will be home tomorrow. We need to talk about what we're going to tell them. The truth, I say through the door. Age appropriate, but the truth. You can't be serious. You want to traumatize them? No. You already did that when you chose to destroy their family. She hits the door, hard. You self-righteous bastard, you think you're so perfect? You think you've been a good husband? I open the door just wide enough to look her in the eye. No, I think I've been a faithful one. There's a difference. And tomorrow, our children will still have at least one parent they can trust. Her face crumbles. For a moment, she looks like the woman I married. Young, scared, lost. I'm pregnant, David. I know. It might be yours. I hold up the pregnancy test. Study the date again. Count backwards to the last time we were intimate. My father's wake. The night before she started taking those evening yoga classes. No, I say quietly. It's not. I close the door again. This time, I lock it. My laptop pings with Patricia Morrison's reply. Can you come in tomorrow at 9 a.m.? Bring everything you have. Everything I have. I look around the room we've shared for 12 years. The wedding photos on the dresser. Emma's first drawing framed on the wall. A stick figure family of 4 under a rainbow. Lucas's baby shoes on the bookshelf. Everything I have is about to be divided by lawyers and argued over in court. But not everything that matters. I pull out my phone and record a voice memo. Day 1, July 15th, 4:47 p.m. Sarah returned from Bali 3 hours ago. I discovered evidence of an affair with Jake Kingston, her yoga instructor. She's pregnant. By the dates, conception occurred before her trip. She's currently on the phone with him in Emma's room. I've contacted a divorce attorney. Tomorrow, I need to figure out how to protect our children from this. Through the window, I watch Jake's red Tesla pull away from the curb. He doesn't even have the courage to come to the door. If you've ever discovered a betrayal that shattered your world, you know this moment. The strange calm that comes after the first shock. The clarity that cuts through years of small compromises and ignored red flags. The terrible freedom of finally seeing the truth. I open her iPad again. Her email is still logged in. The messages to Jake go back 6 months, since January. They started planning the Bali trip in March, 2 weeks after my father's diagnosis. She was sexting another man while I was picking out my father's casket. The bedroom fills with golden afternoon light. Somewhere in this house are 12 years of memories. First anniversary gifts, hospital bracelets from the children's births, love letters from when we were young and believed in forever. But there's something else in this house now. Evidence, truth, the kind that holds up in court. I start with her jewelry box. The receipt for the ring Jake bought her in Bali is tucked under her grandmother's pearls. $3,000 charged to a credit card that's not in our records. He has money then. That'll matter for child support. Her passport is in the nightstand. The Bali stamps are there, but so is something else. A folded paper tucked in the back page. A prenatal appointment card for tomorrow at a clinic I've never heard of. She made the appointment before she left. She knew. She knew she was pregnant, knew it wasn't mine, and went to Bali anyway to celebrate with him. The rage finally comes. White hot and pure. My fist wants to go through the wall, through the door, through something. Instead, I take another photo, another piece of evidence. Downstairs, Sarah's on the phone again. Different voice this time, her mother. Mom, he's being completely unreasonable. I made one mistake, one, and he's ready to throw away 12 years. One mistake. 7 nights in a honeymoon suite. 6 months of emails, a baby growing inside her that shares none of my DNA. If that's one mistake, I'd hate to see what she considers a pattern. My phone buzzes. It's my brother Tom. Just got your email. What the hell happened? I text back. Sarah cheated. She's pregnant, not mine. Picking up the kids tomorrow at 10. His response is immediate. On my way over. No, tomorrow. Please, I need tonight to get everything in order. 3 dots appear and disappear several times. Finally, okay, but I'm here if you need me. And David, I never liked her. I almost smile. Tom never liked anyone I dated, but he'd been especially cold to Sarah. Now I wonder what he saw that I didn't. The sun sets outside, painting our bedroom walls the color of old blood. Sarah's stopped crying, stopped calling. The house settles into an uncomfortable quiet. I order Chinese food from my phone. 2 orders, one sent to the front door for Sarah, one to the back door for me. The delivery guy seems confused but takes the generous tip without questions. She texts, "This is ridiculous. We're adults. Come downstairs and eat with me." I don't respond. She texts again, "The baby deserves a father." This time I respond, "Then Jake should step up." Her typing bubbles appear and disappear for 5 straight minutes. Finally, "You're going to regret this." No. The only thing I regret is not seeing it sooner. The Tuesday night classes that ran late. The new lingerie that I never saw her wear. The way she'd guard her phone like it held state secrets. The distance she blamed on my grief. The receipt wasn't for 1 room. It was for the honeymoon suite. And tomorrow I start the long journey of untangling my life from someone who could smile at me over breakfast while carrying another man's child. Monday morning arrives with Patricia Morrison's firm handshake and the smell of legal documents. Her office overlooks downtown, all glass and steel and expensive furniture that whispers, "I don't lose cases." "David, I've reviewed everything you sent. The prenuptial agreement is solid. The infidelity clause is clear. But there's something you need to understand." She adjusts her reading glasses. In this state, you're presumed the father, even with proof otherwise. The words hit like ice water. What does that mean? It means if you're married when the baby's born, your name goes on the birth certificate. Unless you actively contest paternity within 60 days, you're financially responsible for that child until they're 18. But it's not mine. I have proof. I know, and we'll use it. But the law's primary concern is the welfare of the child, not the betrayed spouse. She pulls out a yellow legal pad. Now let's discuss your children. Emma's 8, Lucas is 6? Yes. Any behavioral issues, problems at school, anything Sarah could use against you? They're good kids. Emma's in gifted programs. Lucas just started Little League. My throat tightens. They don't deserve this. Patricia's expression softens slightly. No child does, but we need to be strategic. Sarah's going to play the pregnant mother card. Judges have sympathy for that. We need to establish you as the stable parent, the one who puts the children first. My phone buzzes. Sarah, again, we need to talk about money. The baby needs things. I show Patricia. She nods. Don't respond to anything about money without running it by me first. Every text is potential evidence. The door opens and Patricia's assistant brings in coffee. Real china cups, not paper. Everything here speaks of permanence, tradition, the slow, grinding wheels of justice. I have a contact at family court, Patricia continues. Judge Martinez, fair but traditional. He'll want to see you making efforts at reconciliation, especially with a baby involved. Reconciliation? She cheated. I know, but the optics matter. You can't look like you're abandoning a pregnant woman, even if the child isn't yours. She makes notes on her pad. We need to document everything. Her refusal to communicate reasonably. Her continued contact with the affair partner. Any attempts to hide assets. She withdrew $15,000 from our savings last week. Patricia's pen stops. Without telling you? I only saw it because I checked the statements yesterday. Good. That's good. I mean, it's theft, but it's documented theft. She writes faster now. We can file for an emergency financial restraining order. Freeze the accounts before she drains them. 2 hours later, I leave Patricia's office with a folder of documents to sign and a court date in 3 weeks. The sun feels too bright. The world too normal. People walk past me talking about coffee and weekend plans while my life splits apart like a dropped phone screen. Tom's waiting in my driveway with Emma and Lucas. They run to me, all smiles and stories about Grandma's pancakes. Sarah's car is gone. Where's Mommy? Emma asks, her backpack bouncing as she hugs my leg. She had some errands. Let's go inside and have lunch, okay? Tom catches my eye over their heads. She left about an hour ago. Lots of suitcases. Inside, the kids scatter to their rooms while Tom and I stand in the kitchen. The sandwich Sarah made yesterday still sits on the counter, attracting flies. She took her things? I ask. Most of them left this, though. He hands me an envelope. Inside is an ultrasound photo. Across the top, she's written, "Your son, due February 14th. A boy. She's having a boy. With Jake. Uncle Tom, why is Daddy sad? Lucas appears in the doorway, his dinosaur toy clutched in one small hand. I'm okay, buddy, I say, kneeling down to his level. Just grown-up stuff. Is it about Mommy's new friend? The one who picks her up sometimes? Tom and I exchange glances. What new friend? I ask carefully. The man with the cool red car. He gave Mommy flowers once. She said not to tell you because it was a surprise. My 6-year-old son has been keeping his mother's secrets. The rage comes back, harder this time. Hey, why don't you go play with Emma? Uncle Tom and I need to talk about boring adult things. Lucas runs off and Tom puts a hand on my shoulder. David, she made our son lie to me. I know. She made our baby lie to me, Tom. My phone buzzes. social media notification. I've been tagged in something. Sarah's Facebook, a public post, the ultrasound photo, and a long paragraph about new beginnings and choosing happiness and the blessing of unexpected miracles. She's tagged me and Jake. The comments are already pouring in. Her mother, so excited for grandchild number 3. Her sister, about time you shared the news. February babies are lucky. My mother-in-law posted, so excited for grandchild number 3. Before I can process this, Emma appears with her iPad. Daddy, why is mommy saying we're getting a baby brother? The screen shows Sarah's Instagram. Different angle of the ultrasound. Different caption. Sometimes life surprises you with exactly what you didn't know you needed. Blessed mama, boy mom, fresh start. Let me see that, sweetheart. I take the iPad gently. She's posted it everywhere. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, even LinkedIn. My growing family and I are entering an exciting new chapter. My phone starts ringing. My mother, Sarah's father, colleagues, everyone's seeing it at once. Tom reads over my shoulder. She's controlling the narrative, making it public before you can. Daddy? Emma's voice is small. Are you and mommy fighting? I sit on the couch and pull her onto my lap. Lucas climbs up too, drawn by the serious tone. Listen, guys, mommy and daddy are having some grown-up problems. We both love you very much, but we might need to live in different houses for a while. Is it because of the baby? Emma asks. I heard you arguing about a test. These children hear everything, see everything. They've been living in a house full of secrets, and now the truth is spilling out through social media posts and overheard conversations. It's complicated, sweetheart, but no matter what happens, you and Lucas are my number one priority, always. Will we have to choose? Lucas asks, his bottom lip trembling. No, buddy, never. You'll have both of us, just in different ways. Tom's phone rings. He steps outside to answer it, but I can hear his tone change. When he comes back, his face is grim. That was Mom. Sarah's at her house with Jake. They're asking to stay there. Our mother, the woman who just buried her husband 6 weeks ago. Sarah's bringing her affair partner to my widowed mother's house. She said no, right? She said she needed to talk to you first. I leave the kids with Tom and step outside to call my mother. She answers on the first ring. David, what is happening? Sarah's here crying, saying you kicked her out, that you're being unreasonable about the baby. Mom, the baby isn't mine. Silence. Then, what? She's been having an affair. The man with her? Jake? That's the father. But she said you're refusing to accept your son. Mom, I have proof, receipts, photos, the dates don't lie. She was pregnant before she went to Bali with him. I hear muffled voices in the background, Sarah's theatrical sobs, Jake's low murmur. I'm asking them to leave, Mom says firmly. How dare she bring him to my house? How dare she use your father's death as cover for this? Mom, no, David, I buried my husband 6 weeks ago. I won't have his memory disrespected like this. Her voice rises, and I know Sarah can hear her. Get out of my house, both of you, now. I hear Sarah protesting, Jake trying to mediate, and then a door slamming. They're gone, Mom says. I'm coming over. The children need stability right now. What would you choose? Protecting your boundaries or accepting an innocent child? The question haunts me as I watch my children play in the backyard, unaware that their family photos will soon be exhibits in a courtroom. 3 days pass in a blur of lawyer meetings and awkward dinners where the empty chair screams louder than any argument. Sarah's been staying at her sister's, posting daily updates about embracing single motherhood and rising above negativity. Then Thursday comes and everything escalates. I'm at work when the receptionist calls. David, there's a Jake Kingston here to see you. He's in the lobby when I arrive, tall, tanned, man bun, exactly like his Instagram photos. He stands when he sees me, hands up in a peace gesture. David, man, we need to talk. We really don't. Please, 5 minutes. There's something you need to know. Against my better judgment, I lead him to the conference room. He sits across from me, fidgeting with his prayer beads bracelet. She told me you two had an open marriage. The words hang between us like a bad smell. She said what? She said you'd been separated for months, that you had an arrangement. That's why I was cool with it, you know? I don't mess with married women. He pulls out his phone, scrolls through messages. Look, see? She told me you knew. The texts are from January, Sarah telling him about our arrangement. How I had a girlfriend at work, I don't. How we stayed together for the kids but lived separate lives. We didn't. I didn't know she was pregnant until Bali. He continues. She said it was yours. Said you guys had one last night together before officially separating. I only found out the truth when she called me Saturday. And you believe her now? He laughs bitterly. No, man, I don't believe anything she says anymore. That's why I'm here. He pulls out an envelope. This is a paternity test kit. I'm taking one. I suggest you do too. Why? Because she's been with other guys too, at least 2 that I know of. The room tilts. What? There's a reason I was cool with the open marriage story. She showed me pictures of you with another woman. He shows me his phone again. This isn't you, is it? The photo shows Sarah's personal trainer, Marcus, at what looks like our house. In our bed. The timestamp is from March, when I was at my father's radiation appointments. She said this was you with your girlfriend, but that's not you. No, it's not. Jake nods slowly. There's another guy too, some dude from her book club, Richard something. 3 men. At least 3 men. While I was watching my father die, she was collecting affairs like souvenirs. Why are you telling me this? Because if that baby's mine, I'll step up. I'm not a deadbeat, but I need to know for sure. And you need to know you might not be the only one she's trying to pin this on. He leaves the paternity kit on the table and stands. For what it's worth, I'm sorry. If I'd known the truth. You'd have fucked her anyway? He has the decency to look ashamed. Probably not. I teach yoga, man. Karma's real. And this is some dark karma. After he leaves, I sit in the empty conference room staring at the paternity test kit. My phone buzzes with another social media notification. Sarah's posted a baby bump photo. 4 months along, the caption says, "Growing a little warrior." The comments are split now, some supporting her brave single motherhood, others asking where I am. My cousin has commented, "Interesting timing for a pregnancy announcement." Patricia calls, "I've seen the social media posts. We can use this. She's establishing a pattern of deception." Jake was just here. He says there were other men. How many? At least 3 total. Jesus Christ. Papers rustle. We need those names. If we can establish multiple affairs, the prenup violation is ironclad. You'll keep the house, the investments, everything protected in the agreement. What about custody? Of Emma and Lucas, with multiple affairs and evidence of parental alienation, making Lucas keep secrets, you're in a strong position. That night, I'm helping Emma with homework when she shows me a drawing she's been working on. It's our family, but now there are 5 figures instead of 4. I added the baby, she says quietly, so he won't be alone. My 8-year-old daughter has more compassion than all the adults in this situation combined. That's very kind of you, sweetheart. Will he live with us? No, honey, he'll live with his mommy. And his daddy? I choose my words carefully. He'll have a daddy who loves him very much. But not you. Not me. She nods solemnly and adds another figure to the drawing, a man with a red car. Is this him? How did you... I saw Mommy kissing him once at her yoga place. Lucas and I were in the car. Another secret my children were forced to keep. Another weight on their small shoulders. Emma, you know none of this is your fault, right? Or Lucas's. I know, Daddy. Mommy makes bad choices sometimes. From the mouths of babes. Friday brings the storm. Sarah shows up at the house with a police escort to collect more belongings. The officer looks apologetic as he explains she has a right to her possessions. "I need the children's baby albums," she says, not meeting my eye, "and my grandmother's china." "The albums stay. They belong to the kids. The china's in the dining room." She moves through our house like a ghost, picking through 12 years of accumulated life. Jake waits in his red Tesla, engine running. Lucas watches from the stairs. Why is Mommy taking things? She needs them for her new place. Is she taking us too? Not today, buddy. Sarah hears this and stops. For a moment her mask slips and I see something raw and desperate in her eyes. I'm still their mother. Yes, you are. This doesn't change that. No, but it changes everything else. She carries out a box of china, her pregnant belly now visible under her flowing shirt. The police officer helps her load Jake's car. Mrs. Chen watches from her garden, pretending to prune roses that don't need pruning. As they drive away, Lucas asks, "Why doesn't the baby's daddy want her?" The question stops me cold. What do you mean? Emma said Mommy needs a new house because the baby's daddy doesn't want them at his house. Even my children can see what Sarah refuses to acknowledge. Jake's already pulling away. The Tesla speeds off a little too quickly, like he can't escape fast enough. That evening, my brother Tom brings over pizza and beer. The kids are asleep, and we sit on the back porch watching fireflies. "Remember when Dad was sick?" he asks. "How Sarah complained about having to visit him?" "Yeah." I should have said something then. She showed her true colors. It wouldn't have changed anything. Maybe not. But David, you need to know something. Mom told me Sarah's been calling her, crying, begging for money. Mom wouldn't... No, but Sarah's desperate. Jake's apparently not as invested as she thought. His parents found out and are threatening to cut him off. He's 35 and still lives off their money. So she bet everything on a man who can't even support himself? Tom raises his beer. Karma's a bitch. My phone buzzes. An email from an unknown address. The subject line, "You should know the truth." Inside is a message from someone named Rebecca Kingston, Jake's wife. Yes, wife. Rebecca Kingston's email changes everything. Jake and I have been married for 8 years. Separated for 2, but married. He's done this before. Pregnant girlfriend, promises to leave me, then disappears when reality hits. I've been trying to divorce him, but he keeps dodging the papers. Your wife isn't special. She's just his latest victim. Attached are documents, their marriage certificate, separation agreement, 3 other women's testimonies from affairs over the past 5 years, photos of Jake with different women, all at the same yoga studio. One photo stops my heart. It's from Jake's Instagram, dated last month. He's with Sarah at the hospital. The caption, "Supporting my queen through morning sickness." Baby daddy, new life. Rebecca has commented below, still married, BTW actual wife. I forward everything to Patricia immediately. Her response comes within minutes. Holy shit. Can I meet with Rebecca? The next morning, Saturday, finds me at the lab with the paternity test kit. The technician is professional, clinical, as she swabs my cheek. Results in 3-5 business days. You'll get an email and a certified letter. That fast? DNA doesn't lie, sir. And these days, we can be certain within hours. The rest is just paperwork. Emma and Lucas are with my mother for the weekend. The house feels hollow without them, like a stage set after the actors have gone home. I work on documenting finances, creating spreadsheets Patricia requested. Every purchase Sarah made in the last year tells a story. Yoga clothes that cost more than mortgage payments, jewelry I never saw her wear, hotels in the city when she was supposedly at book club. Sunday brings another surprise. Marcus, the personal trainer from Jake's photo, calls me. David, we need to talk about Sarah. We meet at a coffee shop downtown. He's exactly what you'd expect. Muscles, protein shake, inability to sit still. Look, I know this is weird, but Sarah's been telling people I might be the baby's father. Are you? We hooked up twice, March and April, but she said she was separated, getting divorced. He slides a paper across the table. I already took a paternity test. It's not mine. Why are you telling me? Because she's been calling me nonstop, saying if Jake doesn't work out, I need to step up, that we could be a family. He shakes his head. I don't date clients anymore because of this drama, but you should know she's shopping for a father for that kid. What about Richard from book club? Marcus laughs. Richard's gay. His husband's name is Steve. She was using him as cover for meeting Jake and me. The web of lies has so many strands I can't keep track anymore. Monday arrives with Emma asking difficult questions over breakfast. Daddy, why did Mommy lie about the baby? What do you mean, sweetheart? She shows me her diary. My 8-year-old has been keeping a diary. The entries are simple, heartbreaking. March 15th, Mommy met her friend Jake after school. Told me not to tell Daddy because it's a surprise. April, suck. Mommy was sick in the morning. She said it's the flu. April 20th, found Mommy crying in the bathroom with a test. She said it was happy tears. May 4th, Mommy and Jake were kissing in his car. Lucas saw too. Mommy said we have to love the new baby, or Daddy will leave. The last entry is from yesterday. I photograph every page, my hands shaking. Sarah's been poisoning our children's minds for months, making them complicit in her deception. Emma, honey, I need you to know something. I will never, ever leave you and Lucas. No matter what happens with Mommy, no matter about any babies, you two are my children forever. Promise. Promise. Even if we didn't keep Mommy's secrets. Especially because you finally told the truth. Patricia calls during lunch. We have a hearing date. Thursday, emergency custody hearing. Sarah's lawyer filed first, claiming you're creating an unsafe environment by refusing to accept the baby. That's insane. It's strategy, but we have Rebecca Kingston testifying. We have Marcus's paternity test. We have evidence of multiple affairs. And now we have Emma's diary showing parental alienation. I don't want to use Emma's diary. She's been through enough. We may not have a choice. The guardian ad litem will want to interview the children anyway. Guardian ad litem, a stranger who will decide if I'm fit to raise my own children. Tuesday brings the DNA results. Email first, official letter an hour later by courier. Probability of paternity, 0.0%. I stare at the numbers. Zeros in a row like prison bars. Not that I had doubts, but seeing it in black and white, certified and notarized, makes it real in a way that punches through my chest. Sarah texts immediately, got your test results, we need to talk. Then, please, for the children. Then, Jake's not answering my calls. Then, I'm scared. I don't respond. Patricia has advised no contact outside of lawyers, but that night, after the kids are asleep, she shows up at the door. 7 months pregnant now, no longer able to hide it under flowing clothes. Her face is swollen from crying. Please, David, just 5 minutes. You need to leave. Jake left me. His wife contacted him. He's going back to her. That's not my problem. I have nowhere to go. Your sister, your parents, the $15,000 you took from our savings? She collapses onto the porch step, sobbing. Real tears this time, not the practice ones. Mrs. Chen appears at her door, phone in hand, ready to call someone if needed. I fucked up. I know I fucked up. But this baby, he's innocent. Yes, he is. Which is why you need to figure out what's best for him. And that's not me. You're really going to let a baby suffer because of my mistakes? No, Sarah, you're going to let a baby suffer because of your choices. There's a difference. A car pulls up, her sister looking exhausted and angry. Sarah, get in the car, now. As they drive away, I see Sarah's silhouette in the passenger seat, her hand on her belly. No more lies, no more manipulation, just truth. She chose this path with every text to Jake, every lie to me, every secret she made our children keep. Wednesday is quiet, too quiet. The kids go to school, I work from home. Patricia prepares for tomorrow's hearing. Then at 3 p.m., another email arrives from Eleanor and James Kingston. Subject, our grandchild. Mr. David, we are Jake's parents. We've recently learned about the situation with Sarah and the pregnancy. We are devastated by our son's behavior, but want you to know we take responsibility for our future grandchild. Jake has admitted the affair and confirmed paternity. We are prepared to seek custody if Sarah cannot provide a stable environment. We are both retired teachers with the means and desire to raise this child. We would like to meet with you before tomorrow's hearing, if possible. Respectfully, Eleanor and James Kingston. I forward to Patricia. She calls immediately. This changes everything. Meet with them tonight. The Kingstons arrive at 7 p.m. They're not what I expected. Eleanor is silver-haired and soft-spoken. James is tall, professorial, nothing like his son. We failed with Jake, Eleanor says simply. We gave him everything except boundaries, but we won't fail with this baby. Sarah might not agree to you having custody. Sarah's broke, James says bluntly. Jake told us she's been asking everyone for money. Her family's cut her off. She can't afford that baby alone, and she knows it. We've been praying for a grandchild for 20 years, Eleanor adds. Jake's wife, Rebecca, she can't have children. It's part of why their marriage failed. They show me pictures of their home, a farmhouse on 10 acres, a nursery they decorated years ago in hope, financial statements showing their ability to provide. We're not asking you to be involved, James clarifies. We know this child isn't yours, but your children are the baby's half-siblings. We'd want them to know each other, if you're comfortable with that. Why should I trust you? Your son destroyed my family. Eleanor reaches into her bag and pulls out a photo album. This was Jake at 10. See that report card? Straight A's. This is him at 15, Eagle Scout ceremony. This is him at 20, before the drugs. Drugs. Painkillers first, from a sports injury. Then harder things. We paid for rehab 3 times. He's been clean for 5 years, but the lying, that never stopped. She wipes her eyes. We should have told Sarah. We should have warned her. He told me they had an open marriage. James adds, I didn't believe him, but Eleanor hoped. We wanted to believe he'd changed. Thursday, courtroom, B9 a.m. Sarah sits with her lawyer, her pregnant belly prominent in a conservative maternity dress clearly chosen for effect. Jake's nowhere to be seen. Rebecca Kingston sits behind me. The Kingstons are in the back row. Judge Martinez reviews the documents. His face reveals nothing as he reads Emma's diary entries, the DNA results, the evidence of multiple affairs. Sarah's lawyer goes first. Your Honor, my client made mistakes, but she's a devoted mother. Mr. David is attempting to punish an innocent child for adult problems. He's refusing to provide for a baby that will be born into his marriage. Patricia stands. Your Honor, that child is provably not my client's. We have DNA evidence. We have testimony from the biological father's legal wife that he's abandoned Miss Sarah. We have evidence of multiple affairs and $15,000 of marital assets taken without permission. Most concerning, we have evidence of parental alienation. Miss Sarah coaching the minor children to keep secrets from their father. I'd like to hear from the guardian ad litem, the judge says. Dr. Sarah Kim takes the stand. She's interviewed both children, both parents, even Mrs. Chen. Your Honor, Emma and Lucas are clearly traumatized by the deception they were asked to maintain. Lucas told me, Mommy said we have to love the new baby, or Daddy will leave. This is textbook parental alienation. Sarah gasps. I never said that. Miss Sarah, you'll have your turn. The judge warns. Dr. Kim continues, the children express feeling safe with their father. They're anxious about their mother's emotional volatility. Emma specifically asked if she would have to lie anymore if she lived with Daddy. When Sarah takes the stand, she cries through her entire testimony. But when asked directly about the affairs, about Jake, about the money, her answers are evasive, contradictory. I was lonely. David was always working. His father was dying and he had no time for me. So you began an affair while your husband's father was dying? Judge Martinez's tone is sharp. It wasn't supposed to happen. Which affair? Mr. Kingston? Mr. Marcus? Were there others? Sarah's lawyer objects, but the damage is done. Then Eleanor Kingston asks to speak. The judge allows it. Your Honor, my husband and I are prepared to petition for custody of our biological grandchild. We have the means and stability to raise this baby. Sarah has no income, no home, and a pattern of deception that concerns us greatly. Sarah stands up. You can't take my baby. Miss Sarah, sit down, the judge commands. The hearing lasts 3 hours. In the end, Judge Martinez speaks carefully. The court finds clear evidence of marital misconduct by Ms. Sarah. The prenuptial agreement's infidelity clause is valid and enforceable. Regarding custody of the minor children, Emma and Lucas, the court awards primary physical custody to Mr. David, with supervised visitation for Ms. Sarah until she completes a parenting class and establishes stable housing. Your Honor, Sarah's lawyer interjects, what about support for the unborn child? Mr. David has no biological or legal obligation to a child that DNA testing proves is not his. Ms. Sarah may pursue support from the biological father. The judge pauses. The court also notes the interest of the paternal grandparents and encourages all parties to consider the best interest of the unborn child. The judge said, full custody to the father, supervised visitation for the mother. Sarah collapses in her chair. Her lawyer whispers urgently to her, but she's not listening. She's staring at Eleanor Kingston, who's writing something in a notebook. Outside the courthouse, Sarah approaches me one last time. You won. Are you happy? No one won, Sarah. Everyone lost something. I lost everything. You threw it away. There's a difference. Her sister pulls her away, but Sarah turns back. Tell Emma and Lucas I love them. They know. That was never the question. 3 weeks later, Sarah gives birth. It's a boy, just like the ultrasound predicted. Eleanor Kingston calls me from the hospital. She's agreed. We're adopting him. She'll have visitation, but we'll raise him. Why did she agree? Because she's homeless, David. Her family won't help. Jake disappeared to Costa Rica. We're her only option that keeps the baby out of foster care. What's his name? James. James Kingston III, after my husband. I think about that innocent baby, born into chaos but landing in the arms of grandparents who've waited 20 years for him. Sometimes mercy comes from unexpected places. 2 months pass, the divorce is finalized, the house is ours, mine and the children's. Sarah sees Emma and Lucas every other Saturday at a supervised facility. She's living in a studio apartment, working at a call center, trying to rebuild. Emma's been seeing a therapist. Her drawings have changed. The family of 5 is now 3 again, but the figures are larger, taking up more of the page, more solid. They said, we've been praying for a grandchild for 20 years. Today, Emma shows me her newest drawing. 3 people under a rainbow holding hands. She's titled it My Real Family, but there's another paper underneath, a letter she's written. Dear baby James, I'm your sister Emma. Not your real sister, but kind of. Mommy is my mommy too. I'm sorry everything is complicated. Maybe when you're bigger, we can play. I'll teach you to draw. Love, Emma. Do you want to send it? I ask. Can I? I'll talk to his grandparents. That evening, Eleanor Kingston calls. We'd love for Emma and Lucas to know James. Not now, but someday, when everyone's healed more. I'll think about it. David. Thank you. for not poisoning them against their mother, for letting us have James. You could have made this so much uglier. After the kids are asleep, I sit on the porch with Tom. Mrs. Chen waves from her garden. The world has kept spinning despite everything falling apart and slowly reassembling in a different configuration. You good? Tom asks. Getting there. Dad would be proud. You handled this with class. I didn't have a choice. Emma and Lucas are watching everything. No, you had choices. You just made the right ones. My phone buzzes. A text from an unknown number. It's a photo of baby James sleeping. Eleanor's message, thought you should see him. He has Emma's eyes. I delete it, then retrieve it from the trash. Then delete it again. Some connections are too complicated to navigate yet. 6 months have passed since that July afternoon when Sarah returned from Bali. The pregnancy test that fell from her vacation photos has long since been thrown away. Jake's red Tesla no longer drives down our street. The prenuptial agreement did its job and sits filed away with other papers from another life. Sarah's started dating someone new, a single father from her support group. She seems calmer, more grounded. The supervised visits have become unsupervised. Progress. Emma and Lucas are thriving. Their grades are up. Lucas scored his first Little League home run. Emma won the school art contest with a painting of a phoenix. Why a phoenix? Her teacher asked. Because sometimes things have to burn down before they can become beautiful again. Tonight we're having movie night. Popcorn, pajamas, and whatever animated film they choose. Normal, peaceful, our new version of family. Emma curls up against my side. Daddy. Yeah, sweetheart. I'm glad you stayed. I'll always stay. Even when we mess up. Especially then. Lucas chimes in from my other side. Dad, is love supposed to hurt? No, buddy. Love isn't supposed to hurt. Sometimes it does, but that's when you know something's wrong. Like with Mommy? We still love Mommy. We just love her differently now. And baby James. I pause. Baby James has grandparents who love him very much. That's good, Emma says. Everyone should have someone who loves them. The movie starts. Some story about a lost fish finding its way home. The kids laugh at the funny parts, hide their faces during the scary parts, and cheer when everything works out in the end. Movies make it look so easy. Real life is messier, more complicated. There's no soundtrack to warn you when betrayal's coming, no script that guarantees a happy ending, just choices, consequences, and the hope that you're strong enough to protect what matters most. Mrs. Chen told me yesterday that Jake's Tesla was for sale online. Divorce sale, the listing says. Rebecca Kingston finally got her papers signed. Sarah's pregnancy announcement has long since been buried under newer posts, other people's dramas and joys. Social media moved on, even if we're all still dealing with the aftermath. The credits roll on the movie. Both kids are asleep. I carry them to their beds, one at a time, tucking them in with the same care I used when they were babies. Before everything got complicated, before lies and lawyers and DNA tests. In Emma's room, her new drawing is pinned to the wall. Our family of 3, but in the corner, barely visible, she's drawn a small figure. Not connected to us, but there, acknowledged. Maybe someday we'll find a way to include James in our lives. Maybe Emma and Lucas will want to know their half-brother. Maybe forgiveness will come easier with time, but not today. Today, we're still healing, still learning what our new normal looks like. My phone buzzes. Sarah. Thank you for letting me see them tomorrow. I know I don't deserve it. I don't respond. There's nothing to say that hasn't been said in lawyers' offices and courtrooms. But I don't delete it either. Progress comes in small steps, micro-victories between the milestones. Today's victory, we made it through another day without adding new wounds to old scars. Emma's new drawing showed 3 people and titled it My Real Family. Tomorrow, Sarah will take the kids to the park. She'll push Lucas on the swings and help Emma across the monkey bars. For 2 hours, she'll be the mother she should have been all along. Then they'll come home to me, to stability, to truth. It's not the family we planned, not the life I imagined when I said I do 12 years ago, but it's real, honest, and built on solid ground instead of shifting secrets. The house is quiet now, peaceful in a way it never was during those months of deception. No whispered phone calls, no guarded texts, no children carrying secrets too heavy for their small shoulders. I check on them one more time. Emma's clutching her stuffed unicorn. Lucas has kicked off his dinosaur blanket, perfect in their imperfection, safe in their innocence. In the kitchen, I pour a glass of wine and raise it to the empty room. To new beginnings, to truth, to the family we choose to be. Share your own story of finding your real family, blood or chosen. Subscribe to hear more stories of survival and triumph. Your story could help someone else survive their darkest hour. Because that's what we do. We survive. We protect what matters. We rebuild from ashes. And sometimes, if we're very lucky, we find that what remains after the fire is stronger than what we lost. No perfect endings, no complete victories, just peace. And for now, that's enough.